Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Flatline. The rules for Flatline are actually fairly straightforward. They appear in a very thick book, has 16 pages. That's a lot of rules for what is ostensibly a straightforward game. So, I will try and get through the explanation of how to play this really quickly. The first thing you will need is an iPhone or some form of device that can hold an app. I only run with Apple, so I only know about iPhones. There's the app. The app will look like this. There's a card in the box that has a picture of the app. You can run with just a regular timer, I guess. Not that I've ever done that. The app or this card will tell you what needs to happen in order. Then you have 1 minute to roll and place your dice, and then you work out what's happening. That's the essence of the game. It's really quick. So, let's run through it in order. The first thing to do is you remove one of these green tokens. There's a number underneath that will tell you how many cards you need to deal out. The setup of those cards will be different for every play count. It plays up to 5, so it's set up for 1 and 2 players at the moment. On the 3 or up player game, you'll all have 2 dice sitting off to the side. For the moment, we've only got 1 for each colour, simply because it's set up for a 1 or 2 player game. So the first thing we do is reveal 5 cards. That's from this deck. So top card is a blue one. Notice that the blue cards go down this side where the blue marking is. We start at 1 and we work our way up to number 6. Once that's full, we then go to a second level above that, so 2 things happen on that number, and I'll talk about that in a second. The second one is an orange card. They are emergencies, so the blue ones will be there always until they're got rid of. The orange ones must be dealt with this turn. If they are not dealt with this turn, they die and go to this side, and that tells you how many guys you have available to die. So on a 3 to 5 player game, you've got 3 guys who die. Once 3 are dead, game's over, you lose. In a 1 or 2 player game, you've got 4 available to you. And once again, once the 4th one is dead, you lose. Okay, so there are 2 that have to be dealt with. Those 2 here have to be dealt with this turn. How do we deal with them? By rolling what they're asking for. So the card on the left is looking for 2 blue, an orange, and a green side of the die. These are the dice, so they've got these funny little colours all over them. And the other one is just looking for 3 of anything. So it's any 3 dice can go onto that. These are ones that are potentially going to cause you problems through the game, but they may not. We'll see how we go. They can be dealt with at any time. The top one is looking for 3 of the same icon, so 3 of that, I guess. Or any of the... question mark means any of the sides, so any of the sides. The next one down is looking for 2 of anythings, and the next one down is looking for 1 of everything, but 1 from each player. Which brings me to the markings on the actual board. What we're actually trying to do is heal these guys. We have these 4 plus another number of patients that are set to the side. So at the moment we're set for 7 players or 7 patients total. Once the 7th patient is healed, the game is completed and you have won the game. So if that last cube is removed from the power meter, that's this one down here, that's the end of the game and you lose. So you need to finish the game within a certain number of turns. You can replace them on the power meter by simply rolling on this one or this one. Once they're empty, so there's no longer a cube there, you can't use them. So there are 2 potential spots that you're able to go again on top of what's already there. So we set up for turn 1. That first cube's been taken out, showing 5 cards to be revealed. We've revealed our 5 cards. The next thing that'll happen is we'll roll these 2 dice, a 4 and a 1. So what that means is the 4 means nothing because there's no card directly above it. However, the 1 has a card above it, which means it says place a lockdown tile on the reroll track. So this is lockdown tile, this is the reroll track. The way the reroll track works is in a second, we're going to roll all of the dice for the players that are in the game. How you'd usually use the reroll track is you could spend 1 of those dice onto the reroll track to reroll all of the unused dice. In a 5-player game, you can only use that 3 times. In a 4-player game, you can use it 4 times. In a 1, 2, or 3-player game, you can use it 5 times. However, with that roll, we've put a lock on it, which means we can't use that. Each card has something different on it, so I won't go through what the rest of them mean. You'll then have a chance to talk about what you wish to do. So there's a little bit of iconography there that we need to deal with. The main things we need to deal with are on the sides of the of each patient. So we've dealt with that one already, meaning everyone needs to place 1 die in that space. This marking just here means 1 player needs to fulfill all the criteria. If there's something like this where this column is split between that marking, 1 player needs to do that, a different player needs to do that one. If we have the marking like that, it's saying 2 players and exactly 2 players need to fulfill whatever is written next to it. If there are 2 symbols one above each other, what it's saying is you can use either orange or yellow, either green or white, either green or orange to fulfill that line. Then this marking means at least 2, but any number of players at the tables can do it. So it has to have at least 2 people, but we could all put stuff in. In a 2-player game, obviously that and that mean the same thing, and that's all those markings. Each round you're going to turn this all the way around so that is pointing at the first spot on the next patient around, and you'll notice that some of them are pointing to something green, some of them are pointing to something red, some of them are pointing to nothing. What that means is that you'll get a benefit or a punishment, I guess, at the end of the round if you complete that patient. So if you save that patient. So if I were to finish all 4 lines on that one, at the point when one of the markers is pointing towards that, what it's saying is take one of these off one of the other spots. However, if I was to complete that, that one would mean that one of the players will get one of their extra dice into the lineup. Each of the things has slightly different meanings. Just look at green or red. Green is good, red is bad. I think that's all that I really need to explain, other than once you complete these cards, when you complete those cards, they come over here and you can use them straight away. So you fulfill that, it turns over and comes into the green space. That is now available to you. There is a key in the rulebook to tell you what each of these things means, so you can look that up if you need to. And tell you what, I need to very, very regularly. Once you've used that from there, it will then be removed, but it'll stay there until it is used. You only have 4 spots available, so you need to clear some of those spots out in order to take new ones into that space. If there's no clear spots, they'll just go to the pile to recycle when you eventually need to reshuffle the cards and put them back on in their spot, because that deck has run out. The blue ones, if you complete them, they just go off to the side once again to go back into that deck if it runs out. The other thing you could try to do is fulfill one of these 2. For a 5-player game, you'll need to get 6 dice that are all showing the different sides. For a 4-player game, you need to get 5. For a 3-player game, you'll need to get 4 of them. For a 1 or 2-player game, you'll just need the top line. Noticing that the top line is different for each player count, or for each of the areas. There's only 2 areas available. Once you've released the dice onto that, basically you'll get that cube to come down to the open spot, and that will be the next one that comes off. So you need to time when you're going to do that as well. Because if I did this time, I'd get 5 more cards here. If I do it on the 3rd turn, there's only 2 cards coming out, so that's probably the best time to do it, or the last turn. Okay, I think I will leave that there. Please go on and watch the gameplay so you get a real idea of how Flatline actually plays. If you have any questions, please send me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.